How you doing? I'm David Sancheesi, and I'm here to talk about the news of the day. And I want to thank you to my American Power channel, where you will get real information and not fake news. Anyway, I want to get into this story right now, and it's pretty crazy. There are a lot of people in this country who believe our government is involved and ensnared in child sex trafficking rings. I personally don't know if it's true, but when you hear stories like Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, you watch that trial, you see what's going on, and then now the CIA is involved with covering up, or the prosecutors that were involved in this with the CIA were involved in covering up a pattern of sexual abuse, sex crimes, and pornography, child pornography within the CIA, and nothing was done, according to a declassified Inspector General report. This is some eye-opening stuff, some crazy stuff, and makes me give credit to these people who are saying all this. Like I said, I've never really believed that. I do believe there are just people who are perverts who are involved in that kind of stuff, but that I think it was an organized sex ring, I really don't know. I've never really seen proof to that. I do know there are people who are involved in it. It's obvious now. There's people in the government, people who are involved, but is it organized? Is the CIA involved? Well, this is pretty disheartening that the Inspector General would write a report about it, show that people were covering this up, and they decided not to arrest them. Anyway, listen to this. I'm going to read it to you right now. CIA files say staffers committed sex crimes involving children. They were not prosecuted. Declassified CIA Inspector General reports show a pattern of abuse and repeated decision by federal prosecutors not to hold agency personnel accountable. Now, why would they do that? The Central Intelligence Agency has secretly amassed credible evidence that at least 10 of its employees and contractors committed sexual crimes involving children. Though most of these cases were referred to U.S. attorneys for prosecution, only one of the individuals was ever charged with a crime. Prosecutors sent the rest of the cases back to the CIA to handle internally, meaning a few faced any consequences beyond the possible loss of their jobs and security clearances. That marks a striking deviation of how sex crimes involving children have been handled at other federal agencies, such as Department of Homeland Security, the DEA. CIA insiders say the agency resists prosecutions of its staff for fear the cases will reveal state secrets. What does that mean? That these people have certain secrets that they don't want revealed? Okay, let's say it could damage, I guess, the United States. Something that's happened in the United States, and it could damage that information. Withhold it. Withhold it. Withhold certain information. Make it a deal in Congress and say anything that we deal with, anything that deals with sexual predation to children, and it has any national intelligence that we cannot let out, that's top secret, we can cover it up. We can just hide that information. But these people need to be prosecuted. How can you use that as an excuse not to prosecute children, the people who harm children? You have to see the ages on some of these people. I'm going to get to that. You're talking about 2-year-olds, 6-year-olds. This is some sick stuff here, and nothing happened to these people. The revelations are contained in hundreds of internal agency reports by BuzzFeed News through Freedom of Information Act, FOIA Acts. Here we go. One employee had sexual contact with a 2-year-old and a 6-year-old. He was just fired. A second employee purchased 3 sexual explicit videos of young girls filmed by their mothers. He just resigned. A third employee estimated that he had viewed up to 1,400 sexually abusive images of children while on agency assignments. The records do not say what action, if any, the CIA took against him, a contractor who arranged for sex with undercover FBI agents posing as a child and had his contract revoked. So it seems if you work in the CIA, you're pretty much immune from any type of prosecution. They illegally spied on our president. They helped change the course of an election. and they're sleeping with children. They're committing acts of violence, sexual violence to children, and there's never any consequences for them. If that's the case, then the CIA needs to be dismantled, and this is another place we have to go with our people now that we're gonna hopefully vote in when we get this voting stuff fixed, and we're gonna have to say the CIA needs to be revamped along with the FBI. We cannot have this in America. They just let these people go. Some of them may be fired. We don't even know because they won't clearly say. So what are they doing now? You just let them go, no prosecution, and you let sexual predators out into the world of mainstream America? It's insane. A spokesman for the Eastern District of Virginia, where many of the criminal referrals were sent, also did not answer detailed questions. How funny is that? Saying the district takes seriously its responsibility to hold accountable federal government employees who violate federal law within our jurisdiction. Here goes the part that gets me. The former official who reviewed the declassified Inspector General reports characterized the concern from CIA lawyers as, "We cannot have these people testify. They may inadvertently be forced to disclose sources and methods." I do believe there's more to this than that. I believe they may also have information on people in our government who are involved in this kind of stuff. Think about it. The CIA has been known to spy on our government officials. They have been known to hack their computers and get information from them. That's a known fact. They were doing that to the Republican senators a few years back. I'm sure they do it to the Democrat senators. This is how they find dirt on people and they blackmail them. This is a fact, okay? So I think there's more to this than what they're saying. I believe it's because when they will be prosecuted, they will give out names to other people involved in the same kind of activity. The official who noted the agency has had a problem with child abuse images stretching back decades. What kind of people they hire? Said they understand the need to protect sensitive and classified equities. However, for crimes of a certain class, whether it's an intelligence agency or not, which I agree with, you have to figure out how to prosecute the people. Boom, exactly. You don't just let them walk free. You let child rapists back into the community and nothing happens to them. How many kids have they done stuff to since then? This is what we need to investigate now to find out and hold the government accountable for allowing this. There's no way in the world these people should have been let back into the community without some type of prosecution, without being able to monitor them. This is insane. Here goes a crazy part. A symposium in 2016, mind you, this is 2021 now, and nothing's been done since then. Daniel Payne, a top Pentagon security official, said that when workers' computers were examined, the amount of child porn I see is just unbelievable. Think about that. Let that stew in your mind. We have people who are running security in our country who have tons of child porn on their computers and nothing was done to them. What kind of sick government do we have where it allows this to happen? Yet they're going after parents in schools for complaining about CRT. They're going after January 6 prisoners who we know were waved in by the police. The government went hard after Kyle Rittenhouse, who we know now for sure was defending himself. And I could go on and on and on, the persecution of ordinary Americans that this government does. Our government is lost, it's out of control, and we have to change this. You want to see government bureaucracy and how they cover for themselves and how they cover things up right here. The requests that they try to get, well, the earliest, which date back to 2012, 10 years later, 11 years later, we finally get this, were for investigations closed by the Office of the Inspector General, which acts independently of the agency to examine misconduct by employees or contractors. New requests were filed with each subsequent year. At first, the CIA did not respond. Again, these people think they're above the law. And this is the thing we have to have. When I was in NYPD, we had the Internal Affairs Bureau, and Anything a cop did, they investigated. All these government agencies need some type of oversight. The Congress doesn't do the job. The agency that is investigating these people needs arrest powers, just like the Internal Affairs Bureau did in the NYPD, like they do in LAPD. We need some type of agency like that, and this is where we're going to have to push these people that we vote into power, saying this is the type of oversight we need. Because all these crimes being committed by government officials, being committed by CIA, FBI, all these federal law enforcement agencies, nothing is ever done. And that's why we are where we are right now. We have lawlessness going on in this country, people doing nothing, and we need this all to end quick. And everything in our government that is federalized always leads back to this. More recent reports show that a CIA employee was investigated of October 2018 for using an agency computer systems and database to conduct unofficial searches on her brother, and that the Inspector General substantiated allegations in a January 2018 memorandum that another CIA employee violated the Hatch Act, which limits political activity by civil servants in the executive branch. Political activity, they don't get what it is. I believe that's probably political spying. They just try to change the words because they try to protect these people at every corner that you can find something done wrong or any illicit activity that done. They use these words to protect them. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to show you some of these allegations. Nothing was done. Inappropriate sexual activity with an unidentified 2-year-old girl. Admitted to having inappropriate sexual contact with a then 6-year-old. Allegedly solicited an undercover essay from an FBI in an online chat room in an attempt to travel interstate for the purpose of having sex with what he believed to be an underage child. And the FBI is out there arresting everybody. They didn't arrest this guy. A review of chat transcripts provided by the FBI indicated that, they won't say the name, was engaged in a chat with an undercover essay from the FBI. Again, another one, nothing done. Admitted to OIG inappropriate sexual contact with one child victim, inappropriate sexual activity with a second child victim, and it's confirmed, they leave his name out, was found to have extensively downloaded child pornography. Anyway, you get the picture. We have a lot of people in our country that believe that our government is engaged in child sex acts. Again, I have never really been shown that to be the truth. I do see certain things, and it's very telling, and it's a little bit of an eye-opener, but I don't believe it's organized. But then again, you see stuff like this now, and it makes you really wonder, like, what is going on in our government? How do you have people who they know committed sexual acts against children and nothing is done because they say they want to protect national security? To me, that's a load of crap. I believe the national security they want to protect is people's names in the government that are involved. I do believe there's a whole boatload of people who are involved in activity. You see it every day. You see what our president does, or our resident, I should say. But I think we need to clean this whole government up. It's a trash government. You know, I love my country, but I see now more than ever that we have probably the most corrupted government probably in the history of the United States. And I do these videos, and every day I see more and more stuff that I just can't even believe what's going on in America, because there doesn't seem to be any good guys that are taking care of this. We know about John Durham. I've seen nothing yet. He's made a couple BS arrests, and I still hope that he does more and holds everyone who spied on our president and who committed heinous acts against the president of the United States is held accountable. But I'm losing faith every day in the kind of government we have, and I believe many of you are too. If you're watching this video, then most likely you are. But we cannot give up hope. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep exposing. We have to show everybody, because the government, the media, the bureaucracy that we have to deal with is just insane, and there has to be a lot of changes. And it goes back to what I talked about, how we have to put pressure on the people we do nominate into office, and it's got to be all America first people from here on in, because they'll clean this up. The old rhinos, people who are always on the fence about everything, who let the Democrats trample them and trample us, can no longer be tolerated. We have to go in hard and get all America first people in office, and just dilute and get rid of all these fake rhinos, these dangerous Democrats, and put people who love our country back in power, because I love my country and I want someone run the country who loves their country, and I know you do. Anyway, thanks for watching. God bless America. God bless all of you. And of course, God bless our president, Donald J. Trump, who, without him, we wouldn't even know how corrupt our government really is. So, thanks for watching.